This week I managed to get quite a bit done here in the Lego room. We added new shelving going over top of the Lego City. We also got the trains operating and discussed the new train layouts, which is the raised train track and the amusement park line. But today we're going to continue working on the zoo, which has an entrance, the aquarium, a nice little creek there, and 3 African exhibits, which includes lions, crocodiles and flamingos, elephants, ostrich, and giraffes. In today's zoo update, the first thing I'm going to do is upgrade these habitats. I just think there's a few things that have to be improved and a few changes that I have to make before I continue developing other habitats. What's really neat about the way I'm building the zoo, and essentially the way I'm building the entire Lego City, is that it's all on Mills plates. So everything can be extracted very easily. I love that because you can build it at your desk there and then place it in the hard to reach places of the Lego City. For example, I was able to pull out pretty much a whole quarter of the zoo or a whole third of the zoo and put it on my desk over here. So now I'm able to visualize this whole area and work on it as one big chunk over here on my desk. So far, these exhibits have had one building session, and I think they look pretty good so far, but I think they need some more details, such as the water. The grassed areas might need some bushes and stuff like that. The pathways probably need a railing going around there. I think the alligators actually need more water. Yes, the poor flamingos are with the alligators, but I think there's just some more detail that we can add here. Also, I want to get our raised path inset here and then start building our next animal habitat. Starting with the lions, I decided to add some basic pre-made bushes over here. I was contemplating adding a tree, but I think it stood too tall and would actually block the big rock back here that hosts Papa Lion, right? So I didn't want to do that, of course. Down here, I added some nice water detailing. Definitely takes it to the next level with those bamboo, the leaves, and then just all the trans blue elements in the water. Just makes it look so much better. You can see that I also did that to our crocodile display right here. And what I actually did was left it just regular base plate where the crocodiles sit, and then I built up blue around it. So it's almost like they're slightly submerged in the water. Same with the flamingos. And then I added, once again, a bunch of those leaves and a bunch of the bamboo. I guess looking at it now, maybe I should put some taller stalks against that back fence. That might look pretty neat. But we also increased the size of the water for the crocodiles. And I think that makes more sense. You can see I've got one at a nice angle there. This guy's at an angle, then those two are just mounted straight. Now I did make another change here, and that's to our pathway. I was contemplating using some gold flex hosing, but I couldn't get it to just bend like that. It's sort of an awkward bend. I didn't have the right sizes of gold flex hosing. I didn't want to start cutting it and messing around with that. My plan was to use these U-clips right here. They're like the 1x1 modified plates with the upward clip like that, and that would hold it in spot. But I decided to compromise, and what I did was just use some gold 1x1 studs to raise up those tiles and create a guardrail. Just makes it look a little bit different. I think the exposed studs here and also the gap looks really good. It's like a nice handrail there, and also provides the zoo attendees a little bit more protection from the lions. I was considering lowering this 1 brick instead of it being 3 bricks, make it 2 bricks, but honestly it just made it too low. I don't really want Sir Lion to be able to easily get up there, so having it at this height just seems a little bit more realistic to me. Yeah, gators look good, lions looks good. The walkways, I think that's a huge improvement. I also decided to make some changes to this exhibit right here. As you can see, all of the trees now use these leaf elements. There's approximately 100 per tree. I also added some ingots to the sand here. I did that in the lion one as well. Just some ingots there to change up the texture. And then I also added the water detail back here as well. And once again, those elephants are slightly inset in that water there, so it looks realistic. And I think those improvements took this thing to the next level, and I really like these habitats a lot more now. The water takes a very long time because those are all like 1x1 pieces. So it took me 2 hours to implement these upgrades. I also continued working on the elevated walkway here. Had to change up some of the plate work just to make sure that can be green, especially when we're pressed up against the creek here. I want to make sure that's green because it's going to blend in that creek a lot better. Then I'm going to be able to add more leaves and stuff like that, because I believe over here, when we have this walkway coming along, over here is obviously going to be another animal habitat. And I hope to extend this walkway over here. I'm not going to do the same shape. I think having too many of those will look sort of consistent, and I want to change it up a bit. But maybe there'll be like a U-shaped one here. Not too sure exactly where everything's going to go based on the animals that we have, but oh man, do I ever like those upgrades to these habitats. So let's continue working on the zoo right now. I was taking the time to sort all of my animals, and look what I found. Some alligator or crocodile eggs. Had to add those to the habitat. Also, I found some little mini lions. Had to add more of those. I like this one right here, the white one. Yeah, fill up our habitats a little bit more. And check it out, I've expanded the pathways in a big way. Boom. Starting to shape up pretty nicely there. As you can see, there's a viewpoint here, another viewpoint over here, and then I added some water in the interior here. This is actually going to be where our pandas are going to go. Obviously, I've got to add some more grass, thinking of tapering up a little hill there, adding all sorts of bamboo and stuff like that to make a nice panda exhibit. Not sure what's going to go here, and not 100% sure what's going to go over here. I do have the panther and also the bears over here. Obviously, they're not going to be sharing a habitat. I don't know if the bear should go by the mountain. That might look pretty cool. But it's hard to visualize exactly what's going on here because, of course, this is on my desk. It's not where the zoo is. You got to remember there's the aquarium here and the mountain over here and the entrance here and the stream running through. So it's becoming rather difficult for me to try and visualize where everything is going to go because we're working on my desk. So I almost have to go over there and place it, but there are a couple things that I want to do before I do that. I think I want to build my panda habitat because I'm pretty sure that's where they're going to go. Also, I have to build our stone or rock walls that are going to separate the different habitats. Similar to what I did over here, I may as well keep it consistent and build those here and here, and then finish up that panda exhibit before we move it over there. I think I'm digging that for my base layer of plate. Next, I added some slopes to the outer wall, also some curved slopes and cheese wedges to the grass. Now that the water's slightly detailed, it's time to bring in the bamboo. I used the bamboo elements, also the lime green 1x1 studs, and some of them have the carrot tops poking out the top of them. You can see I've got my pandas evenly spaced throughout the habitat there, and I created a little cave for them. One's hiding out back there. Figured it was easy enough to put together a little cave there, use a snot brick on the side, get some of those slopes mounted sideways, and I think it blends in nicely to the habitat. I think that is my panda exhibit. Not bad. It looks pretty good. It's in the center of this area, and I really quite like it. I added a bunch of these dark gray 1x2 tiles to the path, and I think they do a great job of sort of breaking it up and eliminating some of those studs, and overall I think it looks a lot better. With all of these additions here, that being the improved habitats, the extension of the raised walkway, and the tiles on that extended walkway, also the panda exhibit, these little stone blockades on either side, I think we're ready to place this in the zoo and sort of reassess where all of our other animals might go. There we go, the new modules are placed in the zoo. This one's a cool one. It's like one big chunk. That's the neat thing about all these. Like I said earlier, they're just separate base plates, so easy to transport, which is just a pleasure. Now I've got to decide where I'm going to put the other animals. And I don't think this is done. For example, I think I need to put some snot bricks on the side wall here and have vines and stuff creeping up the side. That'd be very easy to do. Just replace some of those bricks with some 1x1 snot bricks, get some studs on the side, get some vines and stuff creeping up the side, and then obviously put more plants and stuff around that creek there. I think monkeys are going to go right there. How big the monkey habitat is going to be, I'm not too sure. I want to build some trees. I want to build a big gymnasium. It might be this whole section right here. Could possibly be that. I don't think the Panther needs like a huge area because there's only one Panther. I do want to give it some sort of large curved tree in the back there and have like a big curved branch that the Panther can jump up on. I think that would be really neat. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to split that area back there between the Panther and the bears. They might look pretty good together because they both have like lots of trees and stuff in their habitat, and it would get some height in that back corner there. I'd love to get some trees coming up the wall, you know, like just get some more height in general. And then we also have the aviary or birds. And I've got an owl sitting right over here. I could potentially build it into the side of the mountain. And I would put like a big glass enclosure with a door, and people can come in and walk through the bird area, and all the birds would be like chilling on the mountain and stuff like that. I was thinking that, or maybe it would go over there where I have the black bear, put it there beside the Panther, and then put the black bear on the mountain. That might look pretty neat too. I know for sure I'm going to put farm animals here. I think that makes the most sense. You come in right here, there's like a petting zoo. I've got all sorts of, I think, cows and pigs and horses, and I think camels would work with that sort of vibe as well. And then one other thing that I need to do is go through and just add trees and change up, once again, all this dark gray. It's slowly going to get changed up, right? I want to get away from that dark gray and go into the more greens and stuff like that, but I just do it one step at a time, and I think we've made some tremendous progress with the raised area. Like the raised area is pretty much all done. I want to put some stop bricks on the side. I also have to come up with a staircase. It's going to be some sort of wide staircase coming down probably. And then I am going to change this bridge here too. So it's like a light gray or cement, more permanent looking bridge, not the brown one. I think a cement one would look better. Still lots of work to do, but that pretty much took me all day. Just sort of coming up with where I'm going to put things and how I want to execute them takes quite a bit of time. And then just building it takes time too. And creating all the water and improving those enclosures took quite a bit of time as well. Everybody, that is our second zoo update here on YouTube. That is pretty awesome. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Thank you so much for coming on by. Remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Farewell.